walking piece of meat. Men are intimidated that we are banding together in this kind of movement because feminism,
Intimidated? No. Here's the thing. I actually used to be a feminist. I'm serious. Back when I was like in high school, I considered myself a feminist. Because, well, I always found that women were generally nicer people in general, so I supported them. I mean, their stuff back when I was young. And then, well, I learned that women tend to also be massive assholes, so you know how that goes. It's not people. I don't think people are generally intimidated by feminism. They're just like, what the fuck are you doing? Do you have no idea what sort of damages you could do by actually doing this shit? It's just, it's like, the way I say it is like feminism is trying to give someone who doesn't know how to drive a car and taking that person who doesn't know how to drive a car and putting them behind the wheel of a car. Bad shit's gonna happen, and the same people running down. Hey, what the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck out! Stop that! You think you're gonna hurt yourself? Fuck!
Also, rewind. Okay, I commented on an O2L video, and you can hate me if you want, but this kid, I don't know their names, okay? You can hate me, but it's the one who looks like really young. And I swear to God, I swear, I thought he was 13, okay? I swear, I am not like trying to be mean, I swear to God. So apparently he's 18 or something, but he really sounded like he was 13, like in the way he was explaining if he was feminist or not. Like, he literally did not know what it meant. He didn't.
And judging by the way you act, I don't think you really understand what it's about, what modern feminism's about, but the sort of crazy batshit you are associating yourself with by being one of them. As I said, I used to be one. I jumped ship. I'm now an equalitist. I just believe all humans are humans. You are human before everything else. It's a good way of looking at things. I honestly think that you don't understand it yourself, do you, madam?
Know anything, so I commented and was like, you were very uneducated on this subject. Like, I think you're gonna look back at this and want to delete it later once you figure out what you're actually talking about, because whatever. And I got like so many thumbs up and support on that video, but also people who hated me, that I was very ugly and I looked like I was 12 and that I didn't know what I was talking about and that I should shut the fuck up, which were all from girls who were 13 or...
Do you have proof that they were all 13? Seriously, did you have proof for that? Back your claims up, bitch.
Whatever, girls who were fans of them. Which, yes, I understand. I wasn't being brutally mean, and it's just funny because the whole point of being a feminist is to not tear other women down in any shame or whatever, like...
Unless they say they're not a feminist, in which they... Have at it! Jump at them! Stab them in the face! Feminists don't give a shit. They're not feminists, they're not helping the cause. It's like, I mean, the quote I need us to Sarkeesian here. Women shouldn't help themselves, they should help feminism. That's actually something that leading on feminists is fucking sad. This is the bad shit that you're in, madam. Get out! I get the feeling that you're not particularly a bad person. I'm just getting the feeling that you're not particularly intelligent. Just do some research, find out what's actually being said, and jump ship. I beg of you. I don't want to see you. I honestly don't think he's that bad of a person. Become that bad of a person. Just jump ship quick.
Slut shaming? No. Don't do that shit. Body shaming? No. Be done. It just really, like, if you make fun of someone, that's one thing. Like, if it's a kind-hearted joke, that's one thing. But if you are persistently going on and, like, actually believing that, like, oh, like, she's such a slut.
Then why were you calling those people who argued with you 13 as if it was an insult? Isn't that kind of doing the exact same thing? But of course, you're a feminist. You're immune to criticism. My apologies. Fucking.
Like, she slept with like 4 people.
What was that a Quinn joke? My apologies. Maybe I got Quinn on the brain, but fuck. Say what?
So what? It is not your business what she has done, even if she comes out and tells you she slept with 4 people. That is such a horrible word. I hate that word.
And yet there's still a stigma attached to it for kind of obvious reasons, which you probably should understand, but you don't seem to, you know? People who sleep around, male or female, who don't do it professionally generally have a bad rap for it. It's not generally a thing that's smiled upon, you know?
And I admit, I use it as a joke. I'm like, oh, you slut, like, to my friends. But I need to stop doing that because that is actually so rude. We call people sluts when they have sex. We call people sluts when they make out with a bunch of people. It is their life. You have no right to judge how they live their life. If they're happy, go let them do what they want. I'm getting off track.
And yet, if they want to make a joke movement making fun of feminism, oh my god, that's terrible, it's horrible, we must stop it, no, don't attack feminism. Your double standards are showing, madam.
Feminism is for equal rights. It's not making women up here and men down here. It is for equality.
You say that, and yet the actual actions of very, very vocal feminists these days very highly contradicts that. As I said, go look it up. You'll find what I mean.
You can be a guy and you can be a feminist. In fact, I would really love it if you were. And on Tumblr, it boggles my mind. I read all this shit and I'm just so into it.
Reading shit on Tumblr also boggles my mind about how fucking retarded most of it is.
And I'm so into like all this stuff, and then I hear people, yeah, like,
because making silly voices about to illustrate the point of someone you don't like is totally immature and responsible thing to do.
I'm a feminist, like, not really that extreme, like, I'm not really a feminist, I guess.
Shouldn't everyone be a feminist? Like,
no. They really don't have to be. The people who can believe whatever they want. That's how equality works. Everyone is allowed to believe and think whatever they want. And yet feminists are like, we are the only equality that anyone's allowed to have. This is why people don't like feminism, because they get all up in people's shit like that. Don't fucking follow them, please.
especially if you're a woman, you really don't want equality for yourself. Is that what you're saying? You don't want respect for yourself? You always want to be sexualized and all your body parts be sexualized when men's aren't?
Okay, explain how that happens on a day-to-day basis for all men, and explain basically what the fuck you're on about.
You want to be like getting paid less in jobs. You want to be...
As I mentioned earlier, that is actually a false fallacy. You not really aren't. If you take into consideration all sorts of the attributing factors like maternity and all that sort of things that really just newly employed women, it kind of actually just balances itself out. The reason men generally make more money because, well, they don't have to deal on these gap stuff, you know?
not able to do certain jobs because men don't think you can.
And again, part of equality is that the people most suited for the jobs get the jobs. For example, you're less likely to get a job on a construction site unless you can prove yourself to be able to really handle yourself out there. It's that sort of thing, and here's the thing: most of the jobs that women generally don't get are the sort of jobs that you wouldn't want to get. Anyway, the hard labor and stuff like that. You wouldn't want that, would you? And yet you complain because you can't. You're discriminating in those sort of things because you don't want to and can't really get in, you know? Because you're not skilled in sort of areas. My apologies, that was a tad sentence, but yeah.
You want to be not nominated for the fucking Oscars?
Well, not many people that nominated for the Oscars. Anyway, because not many people are fucking movie stars.